I hope you're okay. This is Jazz coming at you with another 2018 guide for Star Trek Online. I'm only going to be going through the basic sort of ships today, just because you don't really need to go through in too much detail today, because I think a nice little short video may do a little bit better for you. So you've just started. By now you've probably noticed, obviously, that you have around your ships. If you look in certain places, you'll have a little red ring or a little blue or yellow ring around the, or border is probably actually a better word for it. If you have a look at them, obviously it will bring you those colours, and those colours actually do represent tactical engineering and science, just in case you weren't actually aware of that. So at the beginning of the game you would have actually selected your ship that you want, your character type that you want to be, whether you want to be a tactical engineering or science, and they do actually 100% coexist. So when you're picking your character, you will be basically picking the ship that you want to be with if you do decide to take your STO journey onto a more PvP frame. So when you go through with that, obviously look at the ships that you want. If you're not actually too bothered about PvP, I wouldn't actually worry about whatever ship you want. I'm actually a tactical officer myself. I'll take you up there. As you can see there, just underneath my name, you have got my little red symbol, which means I'm a tactical officer, and obviously it says it right there as well. But I actually do prefer using engineering ships, mainly because actually I think they actually look a lot better than the escorts, personally, which are your tactical ships. So you've got your escorts, your cruisers, your dreadnoughts, and your science vessels. I've put dreadnoughts separately, mainly because they are an engineering ship. However, I think they're in a completely different class of their own. I think they needed a completely different type of classification. So with your science ships, you don't usually push out too much DPS. You're normally on the lower end of DPS, depending on how you set your ship up. Obviously, there are absolutely different ways of doing it. But with your science ships, you're usually on a lower DPS in comparison to stuff like your escorts. Your escorts are higher in their DPS than your others, and then your engineering has a medium, sort of an average damage output, again depending on how you've set your ship up. Now going on to the dreadnoughts, and this is why I think they are actually on a completely different class of their own. They have a high DPS and they have a high hull. So engineering ships have a high hull, your tactical ships have your high DPS, and your science ships have a high drain and a high shield ratio. So they can actually, your science ships can actually tank a lot of damage straight to the shields. They have a moderate amount of hull. Your escorts have the high DPS, an average shield, and your very low hull, whilst your engineering has a high hull, has moderate shields, and moderate DPS. And to be honest, actually, the engineering ships always do actually seem to be the better ones to go for, in my opinion, because they do actually look like they actually have more of a basic output. And the reason why I say your dreadnoughts are on a class of their own, I'm getting back to that now, is because they have that high DPS, they have that high hull, the shields aren't too bad either. The only problem with dreadnoughts is, if you have ever flown a dreadnought, you will notice that the turn rate, you might as well get out and push, to be honest. It might even be quicker. There are ways to fix that with certain consoles. They are all absolutely fantastic little ships. Don't get me wrong, when I go into PvP I do use escorts, just because my character is built for those type of ships, and I benefit a lot more from it. Like I said, you don't have to stick to whatever ship, you don't have to stick to whatever ship that your character is, not at all. I actually quite enjoy using a vast array of different ships. I love using my science ships, I love using my engineering ships. As you can see now, I've actually got a mixture of the Tier 6 Assault Cruiser. This is actually the new one that's actually come out, and I don't know if you have a look at the NCC registry number there, but it actually says 14618, which is what I actually like to do, is when I get a new ship, I actually like to christen it with the actual date. And as I am British, obviously the date is round day, month, year, rather than month, day, year. So that's just my own little thing. That's what I like to do. Plus, the name of my ship is the USS Britannia because I actually love this ship to absolute pieces. So if you look at my ship now, and just going into a little bit of detail on it, it does actually have the look of the Sovereign class, which is the Enterprise E. However, the hull, which is the body, if you're not too sure what the hull bit was, is actually of the new Tier 6 version because I think the deflector looks smashing, so it gets the thumbs up. But with your ships, yeah. With your ships, just your basic things really. If you have a look on your settings here, you will see, obviously, you've got your fore weapons, your aft weapons, your devices, you've got your shield, deflector, impulse, warp, engineering consoles, science consoles, and tactical consoles. They will vary between ships, so you will have different amounts, like on the engineering consoles here, I have more engineering consoles than I do science and tactical. Whilst on other ships, I may have more tactical, like my NX class, which is the USS Enterprise NX-01. Actually has more tactical because that's the type of ship it is. Normally the type of ship it is corresponds with the amount of console slots, usually. So when you're looking at your ship, if you ever get stuck, anything like that, you need to look at what you've got actually on your ship. So what have you got on your fore weapons? What have you got on your aft weapons? Devices, they come in very handy. And when I first started, I had no idea what to do with batteries. Just like that in there. Batteries you will find everywhere. Just going through your missions, they'll just pop up. Until you can make these amplifiers that I've got on here, your batteries are actually pretty good to use. So definitely slot them into those device slots and just keep pummeling them in as much as you can, really. You can pick up other devices like I've got here, like the red matter capacitor. That comes from the Phoenix box packs. So if you go to the Phoenix box packs and you open them up and you get a rare token from the Phoenix box packs, which you can get once a day from Drazona. You go to Drazona station. You go to I can't remember his name, but he's in the main lobby. With the bar and everything. You speak to him, complete the quest, etc. You can get it there. However, it's not in at the moment, so you won't be able to pick it up yet. And depending on when you're watching this video, have a look on the STO news pages because it could be on for all I know. But at the moment with this stream, it's not currently on at the moment. But they all have their different effects, and that's what you really want to look out for, is devices that's actually going to help you. Looking at your weapons, make sure you stick to one entry type. That's going to be a complete basic for you. It may look good, and you may think I need to cover all bases by hitting plasma, by hitting anti-proton, phaser, disruptor, but you actually don't need to do that at all, and you're actually going to handicap yourself if you do. You can slip a torpedo in there. To be honest, you shouldn't really need more than one torpedo. Most people actually just forward face. A lot of the time with stuff like these cruisers, it's actually best to go on broadside, so that way you can actually hit all those weapons from your fore and aft, because the targeting arc on them is actually quite large. But I slip a torpedo on there just for aesthetics, really. I don't need it on there, because I build my ships to actually the energy damage to go through the shields. So by the time that the shields have actually gotten to like the last 25%, the ship's already destroyed anyway. But that's how I build my ships, which you may actually be able to find if you look back on the YouTube channel, British Gamer Guys. You may actually be able to find on how I do that in a previous video. But I probably will actually come back to that at a later date in a different video, because it's 2018 now. There's a lot more better things coming up, and we have got Victory is Life just around the corner. So yeah, you won't be able to get these little round ones. I can see you may be thinking, what are those just there? These are the omnidirectional phaser beams, so if you don't know what they are, they have a 360-degree targeting arc. And again, you can get them in phasers, you can get them in disruptors, everything. You can only slip one crafted, omnidirectional, so if you go to your R&D section, if you check back on a previous video, you'll be able to find out how to create them. That is literally the last video before this one came out, so just nip back onto the channel and have a look at that. One crafted, and one mission reward, box reward, whatever that may be. So at the lot boxes you can get omnidirectionals depending on the type, and you can get omnidirectionals from missions as well. But they are all phaser, as you can see. They all have their own different effects here. You may pick up some phasers which have all different effects on. You'll go up in rarity from your commons, uncommon, rare, very rare, etc., all the way up to epic. And they will have all these little effects on there. And the best ones actually going to help you are ones that have damage on there. You may be able to craft some of these phaser beams from your R&D section, and they may actually be able to give you in the squares that you've got there, it will say pen. Pen is shield penetration, so you have a percentage, you think it's about 5% of your damage. It might just be me going from some other abilities I have, but it's only a low amount, but you have a percentage of your damage from your beam attack actually goes through the shields, pretty much like the 2009 Star Trek series, where Nero just kablams the Kelvin out of the sky. Actually, that's the Kelvin series altogether, isn't it? But they all have these different effects, and have a quick look at them. There are some that you actually don't want to be honest, bother with, because they're not actually that great. With your shields, deflector, impulse, and warp, you can get these from a variety of places, such as fleet. So if you join a fleet and you contribute enough, you can actually get them from your fleet. You can get the deflector. Again, you can get them from fleet as well, but you can always get these from missions. You'll get them as drops as you go through the missions. You can always also get them through reputations. So if you come down to your skills, cycle down to reputation, you're going to have all of these. Now these won't actually be accessible until past level 50, other than being able to do PvE missions for your fleet, which you can actually do from rank 10, because some friends of mine, we actually went down there when he had just started the game. He had just joined the fleet, just started the game, and we decided, let's push through and let's take him onto some PvEs. As we discovered, obviously, yeah, you could do the fleet ones, so that's pretty good. But you can get all sorts of warp cores, engines, and shields, all from these guys. It takes time, however, some of them are absolutely worth it, depending on how you want to build your ship. So if you have a look at your engineering consoles, I haven't actually got a huge variety of different types of things to actually boost my resistances, because if you cycle over to your stats, you're going to see all your resistances just down the screen there. Some of them are a little bit low, like my defense, just because I'm actually not moving. When you stop moving, it goes down. But you have all your resistances here. Now this is just a PvE ship. I don't take this into anything serious. It's just my nostalgia ship, because I love the look of it. And I have been wanting this to come out ever since I first started the game, and I was so happy when it came out. But yeah, you're going to be wanting to get these as good as possible, but by doing that, you're going to want to go on and have a look what you have set up here. Most of my stuff that I have set up here are actually towards critical hit and critical damage, just because even in PvE, you want to get the best aid ship. A lot of people will say, you don't really need to bother, you don't really need to work on it, but I actually disagree with it, because I always think to myself, I like to get the most out of my ship. And that's what we do. So you can put all your resistances on there, and that will tank out your ship, especially if you're in engineering. Your science consoles, you can put shield consoles on there, such as things like this. You've got on here the plus 37.5 Starship Shield Restoration. You'll get Restoration and Regeneration. And then your tactical consoles will actually help with your weapon damage. So as you can see on these ones, these are actually fleet, so you won't be able to get these until you're actually high enough in your fleet ranking to actually purchase them. They do cost the lithium and fleet credits. As you can see there, it does 37.5% phaser damage. Now these do stack, which is why you can see I have 3 on here. And that's all my tactical consoles, but they do stack. But it also gives me that 1.9% critical chance, which is absolutely fantastic. If you are on a tier 6 ship now, and you just want to learn a little bit more, you have got your mastery here, which goes up to mastery 5. This mastery 5 actually unlocks a full starship trait for you, so that's actually pretty decent. And obviously you have lots of different types. On this one, it does do the minus 20% recharge time on bridge officer abilities. But they all have your different variations, as you can see there, resistances, damage outputs for stuff like your escorts. They'll have the damage output of plus 2.5% critical chance, little bits like that. If I go onto the wrong one, that would have helped. Your stations now, every time you have to redo these, okay, there's no choice, you're going to have to, because they don't cross over. So you're going to have to literally go over there and redo absolutely everything. And to be honest, it's a right pain in the rear end, but I can understand absolutely why they do it. And then you have your visuals just on the end. You can literally just change the way your ship looks by equipping all sorts of different things really. You have your shield, deflector, and your engines there. Let's show you that one. So as you can see, it actually changed the little thumbnail there on how the ship looks. But if we come out here as well, it has changed ever so slightly. It's got that nice little, I want to say like a little carbon fibre or little carbon fibre look to it actually. And sometimes on some of these ships it actually does look pretty nice, but it also gives this a nice blue sheen as well, where the you can see where the bridge and everything is at the moment, and the mid saucer, you can see that nice little sheen right there. But that's basically all that is. You will have the chance to have a look if you go to the lady in space, to be able to have a look at all the different abilities that these ships actually have, such as your turn rate, your shield, restoration, which again, your shields are going to be assigned, your hull is your engineerings. You'll be able to find everything on there, and it will list everything down there for you now, so it's also always worth a good quick look. But that's just a basic little rundown on your ships. Just you really need to look and read on everything that goes on. Stick to one energy type on weapon. You only have one torpedo, because there's no point in really having two, to be honest, unless you're doing a torpedo boat, but that's a bit more advanced stuff coming on for you there. Stick with beams with cruisers. Cannons aren't worth it, they're really not. But that is a basic sort of little loadout for you, so I hope this helped in any way, shape or form. It is literally just a basic video, and that's basically it, to be honest. Customize your ships as much as you want in the space dock. Go over to the Bolian on the left hand side, where they're next to the shipyard lady, and you'll be able to customize on how your ship looks there. Not all ships have a huge variety of customizations, unfortunately, which is a little bit sad, but that's how it is. Customize how it looks like and really enjoy the game. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, please have a little sub. I really appreciate any help that you want to give. If you have any other questions, please comment on any videos, messages. I believe on Twitch you have your whispers or whatever it is. But on YouTube, just leave a comment and I'll be able to help you out as much as I can. But thanks for watching, and check out the other videos because you're going to learn a lot from them. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. But until next time, bye.